Hello. Today is the anniversary of the birth in 1873 of Saint Teresa of Lisieux. She was a young Carmelite nun. She joined the convent at the age of 15, lived there for 9 years, and then sadly died very young of TB. But she, in that time, developed a reputation as being someone of a deeply spiritual nature, and wrote a book called The Story of the Soul, which told about her experiences and her religious life. And she has become one of the most popular Catholic saints. She was canonized within 28 years of her death, and is the youngest person ever to have been made a doctor of the Catholic Church. So someone of very wide popularity and renown. She is known particularly for her little way, as it was called. She likes to do things simply and with love, is her kind of motto. Not to make a big deal of everything, but to make sure that everything you do is done lovingly. But the particular thing that I found interesting as I looked at her again was the idea that you should not think too highly of yourself. She suggests that the attempt to boost our own egos by thinking of ourselves as being successful or popular is destructive, and the important thing is to recognise that we are all humble people doing our best and frequently failing. I think for many of us, the problem is the opposite, that we're too aware of our failings and too conscious of the fact that we're very far from perfect. Clearly, some balance between these two extremes is what's helpful. Not to think too highly of ourselves, but also not to criticise ourselves too harshly. And in the end, what Teresa of Lisieux is saying is that we should accept ourselves as we are. This is the little way. This is the way of really pursuing a sensible spiritual life, just to be honest and open with ourselves about who we are. St. Francis has picked up the same idea too in some of his writings, and he takes it a bit further, suggesting that it's very harmful to us if we care too much about what other people think of us. He's clear that at the end of the day that isn't the issue, and that we can become so caught up in trying to preserve our reputation, make sure other people think well of us, that we lose sight of what's really important in our lives. And I think St. Teresa's idea and St. Francis's slightly different approach to it both are good mottos for us as we enter a new year. To learn to accept who we are, not to worry about what other people think about us, is in some ways one of the best recipes for a settled and reasonably happy life that you can imagine.